Hello and welcome to Blue Spoon Veggie. If you're feeling fed up of winter, like I am, then come into the kitchen for some cosy cooking. Today I'm making a beautiful garden of a soup, minestrone, and a soft loaf of olive bread to go along with it. Let's get started with making the minestrone and then we'll turn to our bread baking a bit later on. A little undemanding chopping to begin. First an onion, white, brown or red, all will work. I'm chopping it quite finely since this soup won't be blended and I don't want large pieces of onion in the finished soup. Next, just a solitary carrot. I'll peel and finely dice that too. A stick of celery next. Let's dice that and complete the sofrito trio, which is the base to this soup. A lovely combination of savoury flavours on which to build a delicious hearty soup. Continuing our tour of the vegetable garden, courgettes next. These ones are quite small, so I'm using two, but one medium courgette would be absolutely fine. Dice up the courgette to the same sort of size as the carrots and celery, but it'll take less time to cook than them, so keep it separate from those veggies. Next, some tender leafy greens. This is a small spring cabbage, which cooks quickly and has a mild taste. You could use a white cabbage or some cavolo nero would also be nice here. Slice the cabbage thinly, then chop through the slices a few times in the other direction. Crush some garlic into the onion, carrot and celery bowl, and then we're ready to start cooking all these lovely veggies. A tablespoon of olive oil goes into a large pan. Heat that up. Then add the sofrito mix to the pan and sauté for 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. After 10 minutes, that's started to soften nicely, so it's time to add all those greens to the pan. If you've also been doing plenty of winter grazing on cakes and crumbles in recent weeks, completely justified of course, all these veggies might feel extra welcome. For a bit of balance, give that all a good stir. And then we'll add the bay, parsley and basil to this bouquet of fresh flavours. Use fresh herbs if you like, but add them just in the last couple of minutes of cooking time. After another stir, leave that to cook for 5 minutes, and then we'll add all the other ingredients. You can see the veggies have softened a bit now, and the smell is rich yet fresh. So in goes the tomato puree and the canned tomatoes. I got this lovely looking can of tomatoes in my little deli shopping trip before Christmas, and this seems like the right time to use it. I'll link that video below in case you fancy taking a look. Next, add the red wine. In go the beautiful borlotti beans, and give it all a good stir. You could use haricot beans if you like, in place of the borlotti. Minestrone means big soup, and I think this fits the description well. Hearty, comforting, everything we need right now. Let's sprinkle in some salt now and add a good grind of pepper. Vegetable stock. We'll turn this from a stew to a soup, albeit still a robust one. Leave that in peace now for 15 minutes to simmer gently and give the flavours time to deepen. The finished soup still has plenty of texture, but just like a cosy bowl of pasta, and you could add some pasta to the soup if you like, it's the right texture for a gloomy day and full of comforting taste to help us through winter. Now we can't possibly have soup without bread, so let's get our soft olive loaf underway. I'm basing this bread on my hearty bread recipe. I'll link that video below with a few tweaks. To start, I'm using this can of green manzanilla olives. I've had in the cupboard for a while. I'll chop them up nice and small. I'm thinking that the pepper filling in the olives will boost the flavour in this bread even more. Next, some finely chopped parsley. If you've seen the herby bread video, I think I suggested using whichever herbs you like. That sounds like me. This time I'm just using parsley since that's what I have in the house, and there's a lot going on anyway with the olives and peppers. That's the bread ingredients all mixed together. I doubled the recipe to make a larger loaf this time, sticking to the 1 tablespoon of olive oil though, since I'm using all these olives. This dough has a wonderful soft feel, perfect for lifting our spirits in the depths of winter. I'd love to hear what type of cooking chases away the winter blues for you, and what you're enjoying eating just now. A A quick brush of oil for this large bowl, and then I'll leave the dough in the warmest place I can find, there aren't many of those just now, for a couple of hours. And while I'm in oiling mode, I'll prep the loaf tin as well. I can never resist a little peek at the rising bread halfway through. It's coming along nicely. Another hour and it's time to check the dough. For this time of year, it's risen quite well. So I'll turn it out now and give it another knead, squeezing out any bubbles as I go. If it looks like I'm having fun, I definitely am. And it's turning out a bit like focaccia, very malleable and squishy. I'm hopeful this bread will be a baking success. Now to persuade this soft dough into the tin, and it can be left for about another hour. Fit it around whatever else you're doing, and it won't mind if you're longer than that. Approximately an hour later, okay, it was longer than that in the end, I'll pop the loaf in the oven for 40 minutes at 200 degrees C. I think this is the best bit, waiting for the smell of baking bread to reach all the corners of the house and enjoying the anticipation of homemade bread to follow. And a pretty fine loaf it is. I like to give bread about an hour to cool down before slicing into it. I think you can harm the texture if you rush to cut into the loaf too early, hard as it is to resist. I can't wait any longer. The promise of soup and bread is too tempting now, so let's slice the loaf and get ready to serve this comforting meal. I love hearing about your own cooking, and thanks so much if you've made a kind comment about feeling encouraged to start baking again. It makes me feel so happy to hear. This soup serves 4. I've heated some back up now and buttered some bread. The bread keeps well for several days, so enjoy this cosy combination a couple of times, and you can always freeze the rest of the bread and then toast it. Thanks for watching. Do let me know in the comments if you give either recipe a try, and remember to take care of yourself when you're taking care of others.